Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure. Welcome back to Satisfactory, where we're off on that was going to be so slick. Where we're off on our next adventure. Yeah, I broke all my lights. Right, we're leaving the ironworks here and heading out towards today's project, which is going to be copper. Now, I'm not getting through vast swathes of it, but I am getting through it, and obviously I'm not producing anymore at the moment. And it's a knucklehead thing to run out of. Running out of aluminium, which is also likely to happen soon, that's less of an issue because I can use steel. I can use tier 3 belts or tier 4 belts if I choose to do so. Am I lost? No, I'm not lost. You snake along the beach like this. This is why I need to lay out roads. And then you've gone the wrong way. No, you haven't. Not yet. Give it time. You'll go the wrong way in a minute. So aluminium, certainly want to get that underway soonish as we approach the site of where the aluminium factory will be, which is here. Yeah, but that's non-urgent right now. What is urgent in the short term is going to be copper, and then I think we do oil because then I can do computers. Yeah, you like me a little bit of road? I know it's ugly, isn't it? But it does the job, and it's got safety fencing for your protection. I've been asked routinely about, are you going to use trucks at some point? And the answer is yes. I don't think I can get under there. Well, no, really? What gives that away? That pipe doesn't even need to exist anymore. I should remove it. All right, well, let's put that on the items to attend to. I mean, I've got this temporary half pipe. Obviously, it's the outside of a half pipe going on there. Now, this, we're here, we've arrived. These are iron resources, right? These are the iron nodes that I was using to start with at the burner base, which is right next door to all these copper. Now, there's only 2 copper nodes here, but they're cranking it out at a fair pace. It doesn't go anywhere anymore. It used to, but not anymore. No, we're going to have to turn all of this caper off. There we go. Give me my flash. No, that's the wrong button. B for flashlight. Of course. Is it B for blowtorch? No, it seems unlikely. So all of this is going. Yeah, all of this is going. How am I going to build this? Well, obviously it's going to be another station because everything's a station. Yes. But what's the scheme? So you've got iron nodes over there, which I will hook up to one set of platforms to take down to the iron processing centre that we built last time. And then copper, I will do all of the major processing of copper. So for wire and cable, I'll have that, and sheet, copper sheet, I'll have that done here too. Yeah, there you go. Any other questions? Well, what's the plan? The plan is, and where I want this one to be different, is I'm going to make a tunnel under which the trains will go here. And as part of it, there will be the junction coming off for all of that. No, actually, I saw a place. When I was scouting this out, I saw somewhere I thought I might do it. Is it further? Where did I think I was going to put it? Yeah, I was going to base it off somewhere. Maybe it's this rocky bits. I think it was one of these rocky plateaus was going to be, yeah, I'll use that as like a foundation point. Or maybe it's the ones the other side. I had a thought about that. And there. Yeah. But fundamentally, I want to have the factory over the top of the track. Why? Because it will be something else I haven't done yet. And therefore, that's the scheme. That's the ruse. Okay, there you go. That's your preamble done then, isn't it? Yep. Nothing else remains but get on with it. Righto. Okay, there you go. That's your intro. I'll be back when I've done it. A few of you have asked previously to see some work in progress, right? Rather than just going, here's the scheme, bosh, here's it done. So we're at about the halfway point. And can I turn my torch off? Can I turn my... No, I can't turn it. Can I turn it to... Thank you. Turn torch off. Right, now, put it back to glamour mode. There we are, glamour mode. I've got kind of the shape of the thing, but I'm not happy with it yet. I'm only heading out this way so you can see kind of what I'm aiming for. So, yes, this kind of cheese grater look is the best way I could describe it at the moment. I quite like it. I've got all the trains running. I had copper products being made as well, but I've just started tearing that apart again because it's me, right? So yeah, you know, nothing's ever finished. And then you've got the vehicle loading ramp. No, not trucks, not yet. I do have a plan for trucks, but not at the current time. It's just a parking space for me buggy. Inside is coming along. You can see we've got the glamour. The glamour is occurring mostly, sort of, kind of, after a fashion. And then we've got trains that come through here. So this is the kind of oh, good timing. So here's the through service. Very nice. And then over here are the two platforms. Now at the moment I'm only making use of one of them, but it will use both eventually. So this is dig site alpha, because it picks up more than just copper from the mines nearby. And then copper bottom, that's where all the coppery stuff winds up in here, before being escorted in the way that everything's escorted at the moment, but it won't be forever once I start making better products. You know this already. Yeah, so the train from here will end up picking up iron ore, which it will take down to the iron triumvirate that we featured last time around. So what's the problem? Why is this the halfway point? Because it's not big enough. I mean, it's perfectly big enough to serve the purpose that I have for it. I just want it to be longer. Train. Yeah, I know. It's a great place for train spotting. Because these are all the iron services that are heading back and forth, and then you get the concrete service go through as well. So yeah, if we head up, no, it's not that it's not big enough to produce everything that I want from it. It's that it's not a statement enough of a building. It's a little bit too subdued. This is the full size of it, and at the moment, it's pretty much big enough. Now, I'm not, as you know, going to be hell-bent on producing as much clobber as humanly possible, but I do want some, right? So these are all the smelters, forges, yeah, well, whatever you like. They're turning the raw materials into ingots, which will then be funneled on the same floor down over to this lot, and I'm going to go hypothetical on this because I can't remember the exact order. This one would be wire, and then in the middle, because there's two banks, that's going to be cable, and then over here you're going to have copper sheet going on, right? And when I was running it, it was producing a perfectly adequate amount, but I'm not using any of it at the moment. That's the thing. Now, this number of smelters is about right for the two copper mines that I've got servicing this building. It is set up so that I can add more later on if I want to, and certainly I can also import copper ore if I feel like importing it. That's nice. Yeah. I probably will need to produce a little bit more, but I'm just not happy with the design. And I'm not happy with the overall width of the thing. I've got this kind of cage effort that is covering the route in at the moment, and it's okay. I mean, stylistically it's nice if you go below. So these are kind of mesh floors that I've got a bit of overlap going on in there. So, you know, it casts some nice shadows as the train comes in, but I'm thinking of extending the main concrete edifice out to the end of here, doing away with this idea and maybe changing it, maybe using it somewhere else. So covering the entirety of the junction within the building main, which will make the building that much bigger. But does it matter? Do I need it to be that much bigger? I mean, I could double stack the constructors up on that floor. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what I do want is to be done with it. You know, fully operational, ready to rock and roll. Now we're in the copper business by the end of this episode. So, yeah, I mean, there's no rules as to how long I take over doing it, of course, but I mean, you know, there are some practical limits. Yeah, but you see, I also like the ramp going in and still having the building alongside it. Well, the ramp is unsupported at the moment, and I'll change that. It's got a little bit of support at the bottom, and obviously it connects up with a whole bunch of concrete stuff, which looks great. Yeah, maybe leave it alone. Maybe leave it alone and just work on the production floor. I mean, look, these side windows are really nice. Yeah, I know. It is pretty good. You see, problem with this halfway house business is I've already showed you it. Yeah, you've kind of seen. I've already lifted my skirt and gone, there you go. There are my bloomers. And you go, yeah. I mean, it needs more. It does. It's not there yet. Satisfactory has now become my #1 most played game on Steam. I'm pretty sure actually it was there before, but it has become the first game to pass 1,000 hours on Steam. Yeah, no, that's not a good sign. Where are we? No, you don't recognise it, do you? This is the central storage depot. I've rebuilt it because it just could not keep up with what was coming in, and as much as eventually it's going to be, you know, dismantled and no longer pertinent, at the moment it's very much pertinent and not dismantled. I've got some work. I had some thoughts about how I'm going to make it work. In a architectural sense, but we'll worry about that later. What's the main difference? Well, I've gone from 2 belts feeding into storage. I now have 4. Oh no, yeah, and they then buffer here, and as you can see, it's building up. I emptied this out when I saved the game, and it's filling up. Yeah, never mind. But it's getting through the backlog of stuff. And it's going to. The thing is, the backlog is going to continue to build up, up until I start making secondary products. That's not today's episode, though, is it? I was going to skip this bit. Here's a train. There's another one waiting. I mean, we're all about trains, right? So I mean, I might as well let you see them when they're happening. I've got a lot of trains running now. In fact, where did I look that up? I think it might even is in the train menu. I can't remember. Anyway, there's 9 or 10 trains running now, and they get snagged up occasionally, but that will be a problem that solves itself. They get snagged up in the junctioning that approaches Central Command here. I've got too many signals in sections which, if I were to think about it, I should probably leave with 0 signals on. There's enough space for them all, but just once in a while, a longer train will block it and ruin the whole thing for everybody. Right, here we go. Is this month's construction, and I have learned a lot in making this one, or rather, I have thought a lot about what we've made. Hello, yes, it's me. Now, I just said that in the process of making this bit, I thought a lot about the process that had gone into making this bit, and I was going to tell you my learnings. I forgot. So I'll tell you now, because I'm editing at the moment, and I just spotted. I never did get around to explaining my thoughts. When I'm designing one of these buildings, I either go at it with, I have a pretty good idea what I want the shape of the thing to be, or I have a pretty good idea how many machines I want to lay out inside, and I've never done the order of that business correctly. So I've tended to build the skin of the thing and then try and put the machinery inside, or I've built all of the machinery and then not really had a strong idea about the layout of the exterior. So you end up with nothing happy, nothing cheerful going on as a result of that. There's always an element of you have bodged 2 separate things together rather than it being a whole experience. The whole thing is working as one unit. And that's what I want to try and fix with future builds. But with this one, no, I was a bit all over the place. As you'll see in a moment, it's turned out quite nice. But I think the external, it doesn't match the quality of the internal. In fact, I would say that it was the first 2 buildings that really did match up the external and internal in terms of a quality sense. And that might be because I used up my best ideas first. Yeah, it certainly isn't because I haven't invested the time in it. No, far from it. Anyway, back to the show. Now, you saw the midway progress. Nice driving there, Tiger. But I've made some changes. I mean, the first big one on the outside is I've got these outriggers on there now, which really add a lot of kind of dimensionality yeah, to the factory overall. I've added this iron ore mine in there as well, and I'll show you why I've done that in a moment. It's mostly what the heck did you just run over? I don't know, a bird, pebble, who's to say? The outriggers are a motif that I continue around the outside, and that's quite nice. I really like this bridge that goes up to the interior with the kind of diverging angles between the platform and the support underneath. I think that looks rather zesty. I'm torn about it being all one colour, so it being grey throughout I think is maybe a little bit lacking. But overall, I rather... My driving's terrible. Overall, pretty pleased with it. Yeah, see, outriggers on this side as well. I'm going to show you all the sides, and then I'll show you the insides, and then you'll have seen all the sides. I'm not entirely sure how I'll get back from here. This is not really designed to be traversed in a buggy or you've barely got control over. But, I mean, that's partly why I drive... Well, okay, we're committed. Yeah, that's gone. Apologies to those of you who hate it when I move the camera around too quickly. I'm trying to see where I'm going. Right, yeah, see? Look, outriggers everywhere. Yeah, I haven't scrimped. On the detailing. No, the detailing is anything but scrimped. Quite the opposite. Now, originally I had 2 ramps going up inside, one on each side of the building, but I changed my mind. I thought that was just daft. The ramp inclusion is always for me and my buggy to get inside, and also as an ingress for, civilians, such as they may be. Now, originally I had it parked there, but I've built the ramp a little higher up now and the parking platform, and I've gone with this kind of rotten greeny yellow colour as the decider here. We've then got you walk directly over the train tracks, and if there's any justice, a train will be coming. Is that one coming? No, he's pulling in. Oh, okay. All right, that's no good to me. No, that one might be coming. He might be going the other way. There's loads of trains come through here, loads. Here we go. Train. Whee! Yeah, okay, that wasn't really worth it. Anyway, when you get over this side, you have access to the platforms. So you can see the trains doing their business. He's about to leave. Now, that one is full of iron ore. At least I think it's full of iron ore. I'm pretty sure it's the iron. No. This one might actually be full of copper goods. Turn your lights on. Let's have a look. No, this is the iron ore train. Nice. And it looks very meaty in its grey resplendence. And I've even put different colour locos at either end. Why? Because I felt like it. It's completely full. Not because it needs to be hauling that much, or even that I'm producing that much. Mostly because the iron processing's completely full, and the iron processing is at least partly completely full because central storage is completely full. Yeah. Anyway, this also leads up. I know. I actually went to the effort of making stairs that go up there. What's that? That will be a staircase clipping through. I've been trying to fix those. Staircases are wonky gits, they really are, in terms of trying to get them to match up with the floor perfectly. You can't do it retroactively. It's like you've got to build the floors before you build anything. Anyway, we're here. Yeah, here we are. I'll enable glamour mode for you. So this is the foundry section. Coming up through the floor is the stuff from the mines downstairs. Can't turn my torch on. Just imagine you can see copper ore coming in there. We smelt because we do, and then we've got another set over here that smelts because we do. I don't think I can get to the roof. No, I surely set up. No, I did. I can't remember where I put it. Yeah, you can get to the roof, and the roof is important. I've put the logistics for this on the roof. You see. And then you've got matching. In fact, I'm going to fly just so you can get a better feel for the layout. So down here, That one is processing copper plate. Maybe. Okay. And this one's going to be processing cable right there. And on the end, we're making copper wire. Pretty cool, I think. Having the glass ceiling allowing to shed some light through really helps the overall aesthetic when you've got the green lighting. You don't need a built so you don't need a jetpack this time around, and the whole thing's built with this porthole kind of notion going on as well, which is I quite like it. It works really nicely from inside, but outside you just don't get the same sense from it. The same thing applies to this kind of grid-roofed overlay of the trains going through. See, it's nice. I like it. Could I have done it better? Of course I could have done it better. At the end of the day, you kind of go, that will do for now. You go, I'll probably come back to it a little bit later. So there we go. I think that's probably the best view in the house. And I think it's rather good. Yeah, it is rather good. It hasn't got any signage. I should probably include signs about what's being processed where. But, I mean, who cares? I'm going to go up to see if I can find this ladder that I allegedly made up here. Right, so you've got 2 floors. Here's the roof, and that's just a glass ceiling. Not a figurative one, a literal glass ceiling. And then here is are the ingots all heading to where they're going. And doing it this way around has meant I'd got as much headspace as I could possibly desire to get things done. And you go, oh, those aren't hooked up. And I go, yeah, I know. I'm producing that much stuff, there's no point in hooking them up. Yeah. How are you going to expand? Don't know. Ask me later. Chances are I am going to need to expand, but I haven't yet thought about how to do that. I could go up, of course, because this layer will quite merrily service the rest. That's quite nice. Yeah, it is. That's intentional as well. Look at it. It's quite pleasing. I've done a lot with concrete here. I mean, I've done a lot with concrete on this map overall, but here I've done quite a lot with concrete, and it's quite pleasing. These corners, oh no, that's deliberate. Look at that. Ooh, yeah. And is there any need for these to be attached on both ends? No, but it looks nice, and that's why I've done it. Not enough variety in texture, not enough that picks out the depth. Now, I could do that simply by colouring some of it in, to be fair, but I haven't. Yeah. Nice view of the pagoda. Nice view of the pagoda. Yeah, you get the pagoda's trains coming through here. You get the ironwork trains coming through here. There's some good train action, but they all pass through, so everything keeps going. Now, we'll hitch a lift just on the iron ore train. If it decides to turn up again, it will probably turn up and leave. This is the copper train here. That'll be legging it in a moment. But eventually, it should... I mean, chances are that particular train will never return to Central Command because I'll be using all of the stuff in other things. That's the hope for a lot of these kind of Class 1 materials. Are you doing it that way? I am doing it that way. If the train is coming, I'll show you. So I've got trains going head to head on this little junction line here. So this chap runs in a circuit, whereas that one runs point to point, reversing in and out. And I don't like that bit of track, even though it is straight. What you've got is you've got the curve from the corner here that just goes slightly too wide before it comes on and connects up there. It's the kind of thing that I'll fix if I do a polishing run at some point, but there's no signs of it yet. What's this? Oh, it's more that's deliberate. It's a hole in the floor through which the mine pokes. Yeah, and there's the other mine, and that's poking through a hole in the floor as well. You go, oh, so you didn't make it tall enough. I go, no, that was always sort of intentional. Always sort of intentional. Yeah, right, we're not going to catch a train. No, we're going to go get back in the buggy, and I'll show you what's coming up next time. So, what have you learned? Right, First and foremost, my planning is horrendous. And I don't mean overall. My planning's pretty sound overall in terms of what I'm building, where I'm building it, how it integrates with the train network, all of that kind of stuff. That's pretty reasonable. It's not perfect, obviously, but it's reasonable enough. Where my planning needs help is in an architectural sense. And that doesn't look right. No, it doesn't. This lump on the end, yeah, how would you get around that? Well, if you made it one further, you could put an outrigger and it would look alright. You could put an outrigger and it would look okay now, but it wouldn't. You could pillar out from there down to the ground. Sorry, we're going to do that now. It can't be left as it is. Right, let's try it. Yep. Right, and now I'd put some of the metal sort of holdery bits there. That's better. Yeah. Continuing the pipe going through. Yeah, yes, I still don't like it. It's better, but I still don't like it. No, I'm going to need to take that bit out. Yeah, grab you. Yeah, plunk that on there. Right, take that bit out. Yeah, grab another one of those and bang it on there. Okay. Yeah. I embellish the pillar. Yeah, probably. Even then, I don't like it. No, not keen. Not keen. I should have spotted that before. Yeah, but you didn't. No, I didn't. Anyway, crack on. These things will be resolved when there's a second pass or when I'm just passing it. It's like fixing up the storage. I was passing and I went, I really do need to fix this. And then, of course, the backlog of stuff that needed storing, I drummed up while tearing the whole thing apart was horrific. Yeah, it was not good. Now, I want to get more use out of this bit of rail, because at the moment, it's in there and no flipping thing uses it. That will probably occur when I've got the iron trains doing their thing. Probably, yeah. But I'm going to walk you through the next couple of jobs. So, we've got up there is bauxite. And the rail station, I talked you through this last time around. I built the kind of initial platform to let me know where I'm building it. It's there. That's where I pointed, just in case you're aware. Yeah, that's going to happen there. Now, over here, where's the shallow bit? This is the shallow bit. Do not deep six this buggy. Yeah, you're fine. Over here, that's where oil processing is occurring right now. It's in a great place for another station. There's probably some wildlife spawned in here recently. Yeah. And there's even more over on that next island, which is even better. So I'm thinking stylistically, some sort of oil rig with an incoming train platform. That's what I'm thinking there. On the cliff top for the bauxite and aluminium, obviously, is build it all tops. Oh, I'm out of fuel. Okay, hang on. Yeah, give me some of this. Thank you. And slap it in the car. Smashing. Right. What you were saying? Yeah. With the bauxite, I'll build the aluminium up top, probably with the pipeline for the water being pumped up the side of the cliff, which will look really nice, and then bring it all back down to the station. Yeah, that'll look good. Yeah, should do. Right, but I wanted to show you something else before I changed my plan. Now, the plan was going to be make a second tier item. And when I say second tier, what I mean is combining two products into one thing. I want to kind of get computers on the go first, but that's going to need plastic. Ugh, what a drag. Rotors are probably going to be, rotors, stators, motors, the holy trinity there. Or frames. Frames is always useful. Yeah, that's a goer. Now, that's the tunnel up inside the iron factory, but I've also built this. And the reason I'm talking about it now, and the reason we're going for a little trip along this road, is because this is where I'm going to build the first tier 2 factory that will probably make, I'm going to say frames, but I might change my mind. It's nice, isn't it? Little go through the cave jungle road and then onto the pathway that is actually part of the map. I didn't have to carve this out or anything. And then that finishes up over here, where I've put some foundations in place to let me know where the grid is, so I can stay on the grid. Now the track does not yet come out this far, and I don't honestly know which way I'm going to take the track. No. It will go round. Hang on, if we call up the map. Oh, here it is. Here's the trains. There you go. There's my list of trains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 trains on the go right now. So yeah, so if you look where we are, we're here. Right, there's your iron station get up business. Yeah, you with me? Right, good. That's a train. Yep, I figured you spotted that, but it was worth pointing out anyway. The train works its way around, and down here is all the big track. You can see the stations in play. Down to the space elevator. Lovely. Yeah, pretty good. So the track overall is going to continue down the coastline, but I think a branch off that maybe swings in and around. Obviously, it depends on the terrain we're working with. Before rejoining and maybe making a large loop here of some kind, which is, I mean, it's useful for turning purposes apart from anything else. But I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, this is going to be redundant for a little while because the version 1 of the game is in its final throes of development, and they're changing the locations of a few, or the types of a few resource nodes, so some of the minables, and a couple of the recipes. Now, nothing that they're changing will affect me yet, so this save will persist, no problem. But some of the tier 2 stuff will be changing, so I don't want to build the tier 2 stuff until they've got that out. So that's changed my plan, because it means, yeah, I know, I really want to finish that. But to be fair, I've got a lot of work to do here. That I could be producing so many more iron ingots and processing them, but I'm currently hampered by belt speed. I'm using ingots up as fast as the belts can shove them through. What a dilemma, what a crisis. But I'm not using any of it yet, so I don't know where I'm short on production and where I'm just not keeping up with supply. I'll figure it out when the time comes, but the time is not now. No. So there you go, that's it. That's your lot for this month. So what's next? Is it going to be plastic? Is it going to be bauxite? I think it's probably going to be bauxite, because the plastic is producing. So if I run out of plastic, I can go get it. But at the moment, I am not producing any aluminium at all. And given that I use pretty much the highest tier belts exclusively, so you're gonna have a little crisis if you don't sort that out. So I'm going to sort that out. I've been Colonel Failure. I'm enjoying just getting to this once a month. I'm going to say getting a video out to you once a month. The rest of the month is filled with making the flipping thing, but that's okay. It's what I do when I'm not doing anything more useful. And then I turn it into a video to justify just playing a game for funsies. Yeah, this road's rubbish. I know the road's rubbish. I've put supports under it and everything, and it looks like a road, and it certainly makes it faster to get around. Well, maybe the road's not rubbish. No, you're the one that's rubbish, critiquing my road like that. How dare you? I'll be back next month. Thanks very much for watching. Cheerio!